Hi again. People in war-torn Libya have lashed out at the US president after the American leader congratulated them on the anniversary of their independence. Well, let's bring in Middle East expert Catherine Shackdam to talk about that. We just saw some stats on the screen now of where Libya is, where it's going. It's grim reading. Obama's comments, nice sentiment, but I guess would fall on deaf ears to many there, yeah?
Absolutely. I don't think that Libyans are extremely happy with the international community right now. And, you know, such comments, I think, will be taken the wrong way. And it's understandable, you know, given the circumstances and given the violence ongoing in Libya and the state of chaos and unrest and, you know, everything that goes with it. I think that people are feeling not very Christmassy, I would say.
He says the Libyan people are committed to resolve their differences. Can he speak for everyone there? And given so many factions being involved, is there any chance of unity, as he's hoping, as we head to a new year?
Look, there is one thing. I mean, they just signed a unity accord, and I think that on paper, I think that factions, you know, would be able to bridge their differences. But it's another thing to actually manifest this on the ground. And the problem is when we see, you know, the UN or Western powers in general trying to sponsor, you know, the same system again and again and again. I mean, they tried this in Afghanistan, they tried it in Yemen, they tried it in many places already, and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work only because they are refusing to address the real issues, which are reconstruction, you know, reconstructing the economy, reconstructing the institution of the state that they were bombing previously. So it's all well and good when it comes to, you know, the so-called destruction of terrorists or enemies of the state. You know, they know how to destroy, they don't know how to reconstruct. And the problem is when you have a country such as Libya, which is essentially a failed state, you need to invest a lot of money into reconstructing, and you need to invest a lot of money in the people of Libya and trying to empower them rather than trying to tell them what to do and how to vote and how to organize themselves. And I'm afraid that the international community is never interested in this. They do not care about reconstruction, they care about diktat.
And if you wind the clock back and look at the cause of all this, where it stemmed from, it was only a week ago that the US president admitted that Washington bears part of the responsibility for the chaos in Libya. Many Libyans, though, say Washington bears full responsibility. Are they right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you remember, I mean, when it all started back in 2011, it was a popular uprising against Colonel Gaddafi. And then suddenly it turned into something else, and only because oil was involved. And suddenly the UN wanted to bomb Libya to try to free the Libyan people. And then it turned into something else. And I think that we need to understand that if we truly care about democracy and sovereign nationality actually means something, then we need to agree that people have a right to do what they want within their territories and their borders. And then, you know, maybe having some kind of monitoring, but not bombing is never the solution, quite clearly. And so, yes, I would say that, you know, the US in particular has had a great hand at destroying Libya. It has been bombed into oblivion. And if not for the US, I don't think that, you know, group like ISIL would have taken root into Libya. And we tend to forget this because we keep hearing those grand statements about fighting the war on terror. But wherever the US and Western powers in general have intervened, then suddenly terror has emerged. So there's a weird pattern here that we need to really look at. And again, people have a right to do what they want within their borders.
So, Catherine, final 30 seconds or so as we look into a new year. Everyone hopes, of course, for better things to come, peace, etc. We just talked about this unity pact. We talked about the problems of getting what might be a good idea in theory into practice on the ground. What prospects do you see for the Libyan crisis?
I think it's going to be difficult, and only because no one is asking the Libyan what it is that they want to do. You know, I mean, they keep talking to businessmen and politicians and tribal leaders, but no one is interested in hearing the Libyan people. And it's going to be a problem until the people are given what they want, you know, which is reforms, political reform, and a voice and the power to decide what it is that they want for their country. Nothing's going to get better, and you're going to keep seeing, you know, those fractures within society and those, you know, those opposition within tribes, and people will keep fighting each other, and groups such as Daesh, ISIL, whatever you want to call it, will continue to flourish, you know, on instability. So we need to address, you know, the root cause of terror, which is Wahhabism. And we need to make sure that, you know, the Libyan people are empowered, truly.
Catherine, thanks for your thoughts. All very best to you this time of year. Thanks for being such a regular guest on the show. Middle East expert Catherine Shackdown.